So the event is titled Artistic Freedom. It is an art exhibition that's a part of a larger event, the Black Creative Economy Summit, hosted by and here at Newark Symphony Hall. The Black Creative Economy Summit is a 3-day event, and the art exhibition is going to bookend, the event with the opening reception, and then with the final closing out during the private reception with Lalah Hathaway and her big band that'll be performing at the end of the summit. This is the third year that the Black Creative Economy Summit is happening, and as a fan, I attended the first 2 years and really liked the production. I love the panels, the people that were attended, and a lot of like minds and great networking and information. It was just really filling. I ended up getting involved because Newark is for artists, like we say, and a lot of the arts were being represented, particularly when you're talking about, a theater. You put performing arts is first and foremost, so everything that falls into that category. But visual arts didn't have a representation, so I was able to link up with Talia, the CEO, and we worked out how we can get a strong visual arts representation and to be a part of the Black Creative Economy Summit to show the arts in all of its totality. Curation, I think, happens different ways for different occasions, right? Particularly for this occasion, I spoke to Talia about the idea. We said we were gonna go forth with it, and then I went and recruited my co-curator, Wanda R, Crowdy, from me, and Wanda is the director of the gallery at Bloomfield, was it Montclair State and Bloomfield University. They just merged and did all of that thing now. She's on the board at Montclair Museum and everything, and we were having a budgeting relationship, so I decided to ask for her help and to bring her in. So we split it up. We discussed how many artists we were gonna have, and then she was gonna get half of those, I was gonna get half of those. It made it a lighter lift for me, first and foremost. I also wanted to get a different perspective, and I think when creatives are around creatives, it just breeds more creativity. So having somebody that I can bounce ideas off of, having somebody that was going to help keep me, accountable and timely on things, because I have things I need to send her, she has to send me, whatever. So it just kind of keeps the ball rolling and making sure we're progressing and everything that needs to be done for the event. So thank God she was available and interested in helping me. So we first decided which artist we want to work with. In this particular case, this really had to be a top-down thing, because especially with it being the first time we're adding a visual arts element to it, we had to set a precedent, so like this is the bar, and we can't kind of go below this at this point. So bringing in quality artists, when I say quality, I mean not only the work, but when you look at their desire, their passion, you can see the proof of that they're an artist. They're going to do this regardless how this is going to work out. They've been in a bunch of different things because they've been applying for things. They've been around, residencies, museum shows, all different types of things. All of these artists are moving. They all have, accolades, and I would definitely put my name on the line and say they're all slated to go up. So as far as investing on that, get in while you can. As it's more feasible at this point, and grab some pieces. So I really wanted to work with specific artists first, and then out of those artists, we know these are artists that are going to, we know what they bring. So it's like, all right, what do you currently have available? And then we'll choose what out of what you currently have available, because we know all the work is going to be what we need it to be. So we really went top down this way. We didn't do any type of open call. Like it wasn't like just anybody who wanted to be in could be in it. No, this was definitely an invitation only situation. All the artists that I chose, I've previously worked with at one time or other, besides one, who's Levi Robinson, who's originally from Essex County, who now lives in the DMV. So he relocated. He's doing his thing down there as well too. So he was looking for a way to kind of make it full circle, get it back this way, and I was looking for an opportunity, to work with him. So outside of him and all the other artists that I chose, I've already previously worked with at some point in time. I was a gallerist for 8 years, so at some point in time I worked with them. And then there's one artist that Wanda brought in, Cynthia Vaughn, that I've been saying I wanted to work with. Every time we see each other, we try to do it, and then things just doesn't quite work out that way. So when she brought it on, I was like, awesome, I get to check that off my list, now that I got a chance to, to put something together with Cynthia too. So this was definitely top down, handpicked. All the artists have already been vetted. They already have collectors. They already have pretty substantial CVs. And it's really about just finding something that resonates with you once you know the artists are already been vetted. Outside of that, you would have to do more research. Me as a collector, I watch artists sometimes for years, actually, really, before I engage in any way, versus, whether it's want to work with them or, collect some of their pieces or, send them an opportunity or something, even if I have nothing to do with it. Very observant and particular, Like you say, it only take a second to ruin, your reputation. It takes years to build it up. So very particular. So as far as you come to the Black Creative Economy Summit and you're looking at the Artistic Freedom Exhibition, if you see something that resonates with you, get it. Get it while you can. I think a lot of times people go to events that have art and either they don't realize the art is for sale. This is a lot of cases. They expect art just kind of be up like these posters, just, decor, and they just around it, and they appreciate it being in its presence and everything, but they don't have the mindset to buy it. But everything will be for sale at this exhibition. It will be the QR codes and all of that. You can get that. You don't even have to embarrass yourself by, asking how much it is and, or being afraid to ask how much it is, because if you can't afford it for that point, you might be embarrassed. So you can look and see yourself and figure it out. And then come and have the conversation, afterwards if you need so. So at this particular one, the work's already been done. Like I said, I've been in it for a decade already, and Wanda's even more seasoned than I am. So, the work has already been done. If you find something that you like, go ahead and grab it. So Harlem, New York, and Newark, New Jersey have a lot of similarities, outside of them having different longitude and latitude. They're very much the same. The people, the things we go through, the art scene, both cities being really rich in the arts. So that is the biggest connector, because there's other cities where there's a decent amount of Black people in and everything. But in terms of the celebration of the beauty of us and what we bring innately, I would really say Harlem, Newark, New Orleans. There's few places that kind of bring that, and we're a hop, skip, and a jump, away from each other. We're 35 minutes from Manhattan, so that's about nothing. And that's if you drive. And if I jump on the train, I'm there 25 minutes, So we really wanted to tie that in because we have common issues and common goals. And it's easier to do things when you join together. Both cities are extremely historic. Obviously Harlem, the Renaissance is the biggest thing. And then this theater we're in, particularly Symphony Hall, has been around 100 years. So when you talk about that capsule and remembering and passing on, what better situation than, Harlem and Newark?